Hello and welcome to Centurion Squad Out, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Phantom Menace, the current state of my collection within that film, and also the top 5 figures I would love to add to it as well. So ones that did start off right from the start of time when I started collecting Black Series in 2019, they actually released Darth Maul on the archive line. So this is from the archive line, not the blue card. And yeah, I was so pleased to get this guy. He's actually, the articulation and the body still holds up to time. Unfortunately, he just needs some butterfly joints and stuff in there. It's slightly limited around on the arms now, but he still looks great. Really good sort of likeness there, and the sculpt of the actual figure work is pretty cool. So he was my first one into the Phantom Menace line. Next up is another Darth Maul, which most times people will have on the collection is this one, but I purchased a kind of, I think it was a bootleg version of the character underneath, and the ball neck at the top there broke off. So what I wanted to do was just, this is the official kind of like extra head, which is all into one piece with the cape. It's all connected inside there. Unfortunately, I'd love it to be a material cape, because this is my favourite look at Darth Maul. I loved it when he went against Qui-Gon Jinn, and when he's spinning around it's really kind of flaring out, but unfortunately because it's all in a vinyl cape I can't really recreate that in any kind of pictures. So what I did, I just chucked this on top of there. It literally looks all official apart from just the body that it's on, but at least I have that likeness there on my shelf as well. It is a little bit of a dust magnet, to be honest with you. Next up down the line, I think it was Mace Windu. He came out around the time that I started collecting. This is the red box version, and yeah, just really cool likeness of Samuel Jackson. Is it really Phantom Menace sort of related? I think it was more kind of Attack of the Clones, or even like episode 3, but he was there in the Phantom Menace, even though he was just sat on the chairs giving a few little lines now and again, and I'm sure his clothing was a little bit more grayer, but they did release this figure in the Phantom Menace card as well, so I guess it kind of sort of falls line into that as well. So we just put him to one side. Another one that we have in the collection is Qui-Gon Jinn. Just recently they just bring him out into the Black Series line of the archive line. That's what I'm looking for. Still great likeness, got good weathering down here. We've got the better face likeness like paint app that they have applied to it as well. Only limited is the articulation because it is an older figure, but it was really nice just to have Qui-Gon on the shelf. I'll put him next to Darth Maul there. I'm sure he will enjoy it. Next up as well, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this is obviously when he's a Padawan, although I have lost his Padawan braid. It just fell off randomly and I've never seen it again, so he's kind of put himself through knighthood, and also his lightsaber has busted as well. But this figure is one of my top 10 figures back in 2022, and I still love the actual sculpt of it. It's a really good action figure kind of articulation. It's just like really what most figures should really adhere to. We got butterfly joints and all that inside, where all the soft goods cape, and we kind of wish that most of these had that now as well. So that was Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then a few of the others. We have got the battle droid. Now we've had quite a few sort of like versions of this one coming out. They could actually release more of these with the yellow kind of circle, like the captain sort of versions of it. Really good likeness to the actual B1 droid. However, the articulation and trying to hold, well, the articulation is good, but unfortunately the legs are so flimsy. Like this guy is really prone to falling down, so I won't put him on the shelf here. But it is really nice to have the battle droid, and it'd be quite nice to have a few more battle droids as well to kind of finish it off, especially all the different ranks, so we can army build in those ways. Another one that came out just recently, they actually brought this one out on the Phantom Menace card and a deluxe as well. We come with all his sort of like gun stuff and everything like that, and it is a really good likeness of the figure or the character as well. And I think a lot of people were pleased to actually see Jar Jar Binks done in plastic, and with all these extra details here on that side. I think like the Hasbro team done a really good job on that one. So there he is over this side. Next up, I'm going to put this one on here. I haven't actually got the official Black Series R2-D2, and they are bringing out an R2-D2 as well. R2-D2 doesn't really change over time, so this is my Bandai sort of like collection version, and I'm just going to put him in here to represent that kind of R2-D2 that the Black Series would have. because obviously he doesn't really change. It doesn't change his colour scheme or anything like that. Just sometimes he might be a little bit more dirtier than the rest. Another one that I do have, this was a C3PO that I've done in TC14. Just got the silver chrome paint and just literally just painted over the top of it. It's a little bit dusty and probably needs a little bit of a touch up here and there. But yeah, it'd be quite cool to have this figure to come back out and give him a bit of a tray to carry it into always like flasks and drinks and stuff like that. It would be quite nice to add. But that is it, really. That is pretty much my Phantom Menace collection. And just another couple of figures really to add to it. We have got Plo Koon as well. Here again, he was just sat in the background. This is more Attack of the Clones, you know, even to the third episode. But yeah, I guess it's just another Jedi that was sitting in the council that we can add to the display. And also we've got the other R5 droid, and this one is another custom. It was another Bandai kit that I made. I think it's R5P4. It is one of the ones that went up to save the Naboo ship but got blasted off, and this was the last one left before R2D2 finished the job. So that's kind of it, really. That is my Phantom Menace shelf. This is all the figures that I do have in the entire collection. Now I'm going to go through my top 5 what I would love to add to this collection. I'm not going to add Anakin Skywalker or Padme because she's coming out and he's coming out in the pipelines, so that's kind of our current state at the moment. That's where we are, and we're going to be waiting for those figures, so I'm not going to add those into my top 5 at all. So starting off at number 5, I just think it's sort of like, I love aliens and I love the outside kind of like exploring world in the Black series, and it's a character that kind of talks to Anakin Skywalker, he talks to Qui-Gon Jinn and stuff like that, and obviously appears in episode 2, and that is Watto. I just think Watto would be quite a cool addition, just a small little character on the side. You know, it's going to be about the size of a Jawa, and he could come with a pit droid, he could come with his chance cube, just for a kind of an idea of accessories, even like 2 pit droids, one completely collapsed down and another one that's kind of standing with a slightly a bit of articulation, a bit like Tebow 360 that came with Cad Bane. I think for number 4 as well, it's another character that kind of sort of talks to a lot, gets a lot of screen time, can have a removable helmet or hat, whatever he uses, and a blaster, and that is Captain Panaka. And I think Captain Panaka, he literally went through the whole entire show, and at the end he went side by side with Padme, with the one that's in the pipeline coming out. And yeah, I just think he would be quite a nice kind of additional figure as well, and especially like the Naboo kind of get up as well. It'll look quite nice on the shelf for army building if you wanted to go down that way. Next up, I suppose it's kind of like what I thought at the beginning was going to be the kind of real baddie of the show, and that is Nute Gunray. I think Nute Gunray, again, the Trade Federation, you know, it's kind of like they're right point blank right at the beginning of the actual film, and they just stand in there. Again, they got some sort of like talking with, you know, a bit like Darth Maul and a few other characters and stuff there, especially like talking to the battle droids and that other stuff as well. So again, it'd be quite nice to have some separatists and some baddies on the shelf to represent that kind of larger universe. Whether it'd be a deluxe, I'm not too sure. I mean, because obviously the size comparisons to them. But an accessory that he could come with is kind of that walking kind of bit where Emperor Palpatine is on as a hologram, maybe not making it as lifelike or life size, but just like a smaller version of it, you know, because obviously saving costs and stuff. But obviously I would love it to be the actual size of it. It doesn't have to move, it can just be a display piece. That would be quite nice. And I think next up, a really more iconic part of Phantom Menace as well, and I know we are getting a Padme in her sort of like rescue Naboo kind of get up. And I kind of would probably prefer the handmaiden look of Padme, but a more iconic look of Padme is the Queen. And we can have Padme in a gun outfit and the Queen as well side by side, but the proper traditional Naboo first scene of Natalie Portman in that Queen outfit, I think will look great. It doesn't have to come with any accessories, just to save on cost, to make it look really nice with all those colour effects on there. I think, you know, it could be just a cone-shaped figure. I wouldn't mind. But yeah, I think it would look really nice, especially that headdress and everything as well. You know, that is a major iconic Phantom Menace look for me. And for number one, it has to be the Droideka. You know, it would look fantastic on the shelf. Another droid for the Separatist army as well, that can go with the battle droids and our Clone Wars and stuff, and we can get all these different looks once it's completely made. And as a deluxe figure, it could come with like a sort of like a shield bubble that would go over the top, just kind of like connects it together, so it kind of looks like a round piece, I guess, like a hamster ball. Maybe some blast effects and stuff like that. Does it necessarily need to roll up into a ball? No, I would like the feature, but long as it can be done nicely and the actual figure, when it's extended out into its more Droideka look, that it looks good. I'd rather it look good than the functionality of it rolling up into a ball, or two versions of it, one as a ball or one as a Droideka fully deployed. And I think that would be the best, to be honest with you. So that is my top 5. What do you think of those figures there? Let me know in the comments down below if you think there's any other characters that you would rather see in that top 5, or do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. You can subscribe, you can ding the bell, you can follow me on Instagram, and you can also join the channel for 99p or 99 cents wherever you're from. And I'll see you next time. Take care, and I'll see you soon.